It is the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, as always, Chase Sr. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Sr. Coming up in a few minutes, I'm going to tell all of you how you can get your hands on a free San Francisco 49ers jersey. Stay tuned to find out how. Kick off this mailbag with this $5 super chat from Master Chef. JG, Jimmy Garoppolo was never hurt. Kittles didn't want to play if Garoppolo wasn't the quarterback. Kyle needs to get his act together and get aggressive. Show us why they call you the genius. I agree with that, and that's a lot to unpack. Because of that $5 super chat, I cracked a beer. So cheers to the Niner gang. So I do think Garoppolo was hurt. That's why he came out of the game against the Seattle Seahawks. George Kittle was hurt as well. Kyle Shanahan saying over the weekend that injury just got so bad that they had to shut him down and put him on IR. Does Kyle need to get his act together and get aggressive? No question. The biggest thing that I want to criticize Kyle Shanahan on is him just being wildly conservative, and also he put Trey Lance on an island that didn't lend itself to Trey Lance having success. I mean, he was driving him into the ground on Sunday against the Cardinals defense that was ferocious. He kept calling these design quarterback runs. Not sustainable if you want Trey Lance to be your starting quarterback for the long haul. I just didn't like how Kyle Shanahan called that game. Next question, coming in from 49ers for Life. If Jimmy or Trey Lance are healthy, who would you start? So that is also the live poll on today's live show as we go live every single Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. If it's my decision and both quarterbacks are healthy, I'm going with Trey Lance. I think he's shown moments of growth, moments of brilliance, moments of potential throughout the game and a half that he's played so far. I think Trey Lance makes this offense more dynamic, less predictable, more explosive. I'd like to see Kyle Shanahan put more on his plate. And I think with more snaps, with more experience, you'll see why San Francisco moved up to pick number 3 to draft Trey Lance. So why not continue to develop him if he's the future of your franchise and give him the most important thing that he needs, which is game reps. Dillard, 49ers trade for Greedy Williams. So on our live show, I put together a list of some guys who I think the 49ers could go after via trade. Is Greedy Williams going to be one of those guys? I'm not sure. There are some position groups of need that I think the Niners need to address. That's offensive line, that's the secondary, running back, maybe even the linebacking core as well. Could Greedy Williams be in that equation? Yeah, I mean, there have been some rumors circulating about his availability out there on the trade market. Appreciate that question, Dillard. Also appreciate you hitting me up on Twitter as well. We'll see if the 49ers do pull a trigger on a deal. I think they should, because they need to make some improvements on this roster. Michael Norris, we've been having troubles in all 3 phases of the game in key plays like the special teams muffs and defense not doing its job and lots of missed touchdowns. You said pissed touchdowns, but by missing the touchdowns and these short yardage situations, I'd be pissed too. This has not been a team that has everything together. It has not been a cohesive unit in all 3 phases. They have made inexcusable mistakes, and that's why so many people are frustrated with the 49ers right now. This team is far too talented. They have so much premier talent on offense and defense that it's unacceptable that they lose 3 games in a row. Now, they have lost 3 consecutive games to the likes of Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and the last undefeated team in the NFL. So the schedule to start the season throughout the first 5 games has been very difficult, and it's going to ease up as we progress forward. But nothing really irks me more than penalties, missed opportunities, not converting on crucial downs, and that's really been the story of the Niners so far this season. Bank Dank, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are now 31 and 37 together in year 5. Could they both get fired if this season goes down the toilet? Using the hashtag 49ers. Thanks for that question, Bank Dank. So I don't think anybody envisioned that in year 5, up to this point, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch would have a below 500 record, especially considering 2 years ago in 2019, they made it to the Super Bowl with a 13-3 record, and they were excellent that year. They were awesome defensively, explosive offensively, But injuries have really been the consistent theme that I think have brought this organization down and brought the regime down of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Now, a lot of coaches and general managers in year 5 with a 31-37 record with only one deep run in the playoffs back in 2019 would get canned. But if you look at the construction of this roster, yes, they've missed on draft picks. Every team does. But there are a lot of elite players on this team that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have drafted, brought in, and developed. I think Shanahan, who is really, really struggling right now as a play caller, has the ability to be an offensive wizard. Has he been that this year? No. And he's been bad. And he deserves a lot of the criticism, for sure. But I think they are much better than what they're showing right now. With that, let me ask you this. What are your feelings on Kyle Shanahan right now? Type L for you like him. Type H for you hate him. I know hate is a very, very strong word, but a lot of people are fired up about Kyle Shanahan and his inability to string together wins, so be sure to get those votes in. Type L for like him. Type H for hate him. Personally, I like Shanahan. He's gotten off to a bad start this year, as I mentioned, but we've seen in the past that he can be an elite play caller. I put my trust in him to get it together. Off the top, I had asked you, do you want a free 49ers jersey? Do you want to find out how you can get one? Here's how you get your hands on a free 49ers jersey, thanks to us and our friends at Fanatics. So if you go to chatsports.com/49bet, that is our sportsbook partner, BetUS, and you enter the promo code Niners125, you sign up, you deposit $100 into your account. You get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with. You lay down some money on any bet that you choose. You follow all of those steps, and then email us, jersey@chatsports.com, letting us know that you, in fact, followed all of those steps. Let us know what jersey you want if you do all of that, and we will send you a free 49ers jersey thanks to our friends at Fanatics. Just simply follow all of those steps that are on your screen right now. I've been loving putting down some bets thanks to our sportsbook partner, BetUS. I'm having just an okay season, disappointing for my standards. Last year, I picked games and was correct at it, like a 60% clip. This year, I'm below 50%. Last week, I went 2-3. I had the Giants plus 7.5 against Dallas. They were depleted. They did not cover. Had the Chargers -2 in a crazy game at home against Cleveland. That one hit. I took the Eagles plus 3.5 at Carolina. That one hit as well. But I missed on Washington plus 2 against New Orleans and the Chiefs -3 against Buffalo. I wasn't able to sleep after that primetime matchup on Sunday Night Football because my heart was telling me, go with Buffalo. The eye test shows you the Chiefs stink. I still went with KC. Unbelievable. Dumb. eBay C. How dumb are we for passing up on Asante Samuel Jr. for Aaron Banks? I don't even know if Banks has played this season. He's been inactive. So Aaron Banks has been a bust up to this point of the year, and he's been very, very disappointing. Throughout the offseason, I was talking about how Aaron Banks was so good with Notre Dame last year, and really throughout his entire career with the Fighting Irish. I thought that was going to translate. It did not. Now, at the time, I had said Aaron Banks moving back in the second round to draft him didn't make any sense at all. You still had a corner and a position of need that you needed to address, and a prospect available like Asante Samuel Jr. Take him. Don't overthink it. The Niners didn't. They went offensive line, didn't take Asante Samuel Jr. He has been one of the best defensive rookies across the entire National Football League. I think the Niners regret that one. My homie, Wet Noodle 187, do you still think we are a playoff team? Oh boy. So before the season, I had predicted that the Niners would win 11 games. They're going to have to do a lot to finish with an 11-6 record in this 17-game regular season schedule. I still think they can get into the playoffs. They have the talent. They have the coaching. The talent has to play better. The coaching has to be better. I still think the Niners can be a playoff team, but man, they're cutting it close in a very, very tight division. Jeff Winbush, $5 super chat. My man, cheers to you. Shanahan has one winning season out of 5. You are what your record says, and it says Shanahan is a loser. So, you say that, but in 2019, he helped lead San Francisco to a Super Bowl. So what does that tell you? That when he had a healthy quarterback and he had a healthy roster that was firing on all cylinders, he took the team to the promised land. And they took a 21-10 lead into the fourth quarter against KC and then got outplayed in that final quarter and kind of choked that game away. So Kyle Shanahan's record says that he's a loser for sure. I just look at the eye test, what he's done. Jimmy Garoppolo has suffered so many injuries over time. He's had to trot out and play with the quarterbacks of C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins. Now he has Trey Lance, Jimmy G, both injured. He has had no consistency at the quarterback position, so I'd give him another year and see. Ray, could the 49ers make a trade for a big-name player at the deadline? Brandin Cooks, maybe? So Brandin Cooks and basically every other player on the Houston Texans roster is probably going to be made available because the Texans are clear sellers. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Specifically, Brandin Cooks, if Brandon Aiyuk isn't getting as many snaps as he should and not getting as many targets as he should, coming off a very solid rookie year, which I think is criminal, where would Brandin Cooks be in the equation? I don't think that he would fit into the Niners equation offensively. So I don't think the Niners really need a slot receiver or a guy like Brandin Cooks who's dealt with a lot of injuries throughout his career. So I would hit the pass button on Brandin Cooks. I would hit the go button for the Niners trying to make a trade, kind of like what they did last year with Jordan Willis, who I think once he comes back after that 6-game suspension to start the year, could be a pretty solid player along the defensive line. Throughout our live show and throughout past videos on the 49ers Report, we've been talking about 49ers trade targets. Speak up. Sound off in the comments section. It's your opportunity to hop on board and join the show. Name a player you want the Niners to trade for and drop a name in the comment section right now. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're doing things that nobody else does. Hitting you with the latest 49ers news, 49ers rumors, live shows every single Tuesday. Within our live shows, I answer all of your 49ers related questions. Our watch parties this year, during game day, they've been a massive success. 60 to 70,000 people joining us throughout the duration of some of these Sundays. It's been epic. Join the party, join the faithful family, hit that red subscribe button down below. The road to 50,000 subscribers is on and popping. $5 super chat from Smack Jones. I have to take a couple of sips because we've had a couple of $5 super chats. Why are all of our rookies sitting behind wash players? Lenoir is better than Drake Kirkpatrick and Josh Norman. Why is 69 allowed to make so many costly mistakes? Well, Mike McGlinchey is a top 10 pick out of Notre Dame, and he hasn't lived up to those expectations throughout his career with San Francisco. But who else are you going to play at right tackle? Jalen Moore, who's a 5th-round pick out of Western Michigan? I don't know if he'd be much better playing right tackle than Mike McGlinchey. His natural position is left tackle. That's why he's backing up Trent Williams right now. I'm with you, Smack, in saying that Deommodore Lenoir should be playing more. Showed me a lot in the preseason. Showed me a lot in that first game against the Lions. Was picked apart in coverage in that first half against Philly. And then really returned back to that preseason form and ended that game strong. He's tough mentally and physically. I like his size. I like his speed. I think Deommodore Lenoir should be playing more. So often, though, you see coaches and general managers who are stuck in this win-now mode, just want to play veterans because they don't want to see rookies making mistakes. So they go with lesser players in a Kirkpatrick or a Norman over Lenoir. I think it's a mistake, and I think so often coaches overthink these things. They should be playing Deommodore Lenoir more. EBC with another question. How dumb are we for passing up on Asante Samuel Jr. for Aaron Banks? I did already answer this question. Yes, I think Asante Samuel Jr. should have been the pick in the second round. At the time, I had just taken over the 49ers Report. I was very confused by the Aaron Banks pick. I didn't know if he was a scheme fit. I warmed up to it over time, but I was like, yo, Asante Samuel Jr. is still on the board. What are we doing here? Not going after a potential future stud in Asante Samuel Jr., who obviously has the pedigree with his son, with being the son of Asante Samuel Sr. So, yeah, I'm with you, EBC. Prediction time. How many games will the 49ers win this year? My preseason prediction, I had pegged San Francisco winning 11 games, so that would make them 11-6 on the year. They already have 3 losses, so they'd have to basically go 9-3 the rest of the year. That's a very, very tall task. Let me know how many games you think San Francisco will win here on out.